Friends, today in this lecture, we are going to discuss about important possible multiple choice questions under the unit of communication network, that is unit 3 and unit 4. Unit 3 topic is routing, unit 4 is transport layer. So unit 3, that is routing. Okay, so what are the questions we expected from each topic? Right, let us discuss this section. First thing, in routing, you should know about the classification of routing. So what is routing, what are the different types of routing, then classification of routing, and what are the protocols we using the routing, and what are the algorithms are we used here. Okay, once you know this concept, definitely you can able to answer any objective type questions, either in gate questions or in our university patterns, that is non-university examination, right? So first you should draw one classification chart. That is, first thing is you put routing as your top of your page, and from routing you have to classify it into two types. One is static routing, another one is dynamic routing. Okay, so under the dynamic routing, again you have to classify into two types. One is interior gateway routing protocol, that is IGP, and another one is exterior gateway routing protocol, that is EGP. From IGP, you have been classified into another three structure, that is three leaf. One is a link state routing protocol, and another one is distance vector protocol, and the third one is hybrid routing protocol. Okay, so like this, you draw the one classification tree. Within the tree, every leaf you have to mention its examples. So what are the protocols we use in this structure? Okay, then you give one or two judgment, that is what is what. Okay, so about that routing types, for example, if static routing means, in static routing, so what is the basic concept of static routing, what does it actually do, then for example, dynamic routing, I have to say what is dynamic routing and function of dynamic routing, how it will be operating. Okay, so like that you have to frame your one structure. Okay, and you think about that, what are the questions it may be asking under each topic. Okay, you just thinking about the topic, think. Okay, then only you can get more questions. Okay, don't blindly believe that the questions what I am giving sharing you, or you just browsing your net. Okay, so based upon the syllabus, once again I repeatedly tell this only, not only in this subject, network subject, in all the subjects. Okay, but now you are in third semester, fifth semester. In future you are going to write some competitive examination. Okay, so for that, this is the fundamental for you. Okay, so by God grace, this corona will help the most of the students to learn more things. Okay, really, if you are in classroom, definitely you didn't get these points under. Okay, but through this online, you are using the mobile phone, you are always in the net, so you can have the more time to browse and to learn about such a new thing, right? So make use of this period, and this time itself you have to prepare for your competitive exam also. Okay, so in each topic you just go through like this, this is one clue for you. Any topic, okay, any unit, you just create your own classification tree, right? So from tree, you give each topic what are the important points that you mentioned it in color sketch. Okay, then you highlighted that highlighted points, bullet point. Okay, and then you frame the question. Okay, don't believe that question from in Google. Okay, you frame the question, more number of questions, and you justify the answer for it. Okay, so you discuss with your friend like that. You conduct some quiz for your friends group. Okay, so let's check how many of you tell the correct answer. Like that, you frame the question. So already I posted one video for you. That is how to create one Google form, right? So I will share this video also. With the help of this video, you frame the Google form and you circulate it to your friends, and you just enjoy how many of you really answer well. Okay, how many of you did a wrong answer? So like that, you play fun like this. Okay, so make use of it, students, right? So in routing, you all know this concept and all. Then other than that routing classification, in addition to that, you have two topics. One is addressing. Okay, that is IP version 4 and IP version 6. So these two addressing is very important. And finally, you are going to study about the transition from IP version 4 to IP version 6. Okay, so this is about interesting topics comes under this routing unit, right? Then we want to transport layer. In transport layer, here also you frame the one flow chart, that is classification tree. Here, what is a transport layer? First question. Okay, so you all know that transport layer here, right? Transport layer is the basically it is the heart of the OSI model, isn't it? So it is operated by the OSI model. You can say it is the heart of the OSI model. Okay, so transport layer is mainly it is responsible for process to process delivery. Okay, so here they are using the different protocols such as TCP protocol, that is we call it as transmission control protocol. Then UDP, that is user datagram protocol, and one more protocol is also there, that is SCTP, which means stream control transmission protocol. That is not in your syllabus, but you included it. Okay, suppose if you have some chance for to ask the question from this type protocol also. Okay, so TCP, UDP, and SCTP, right? Then each protocol you should know about the properties. Okay, function and its properties. Then other than that, you can have some more topics, that is connection. Okay, TCP connection and state transition diagram. Okay, then last but not least, that is the topic is congestion control and congestion avoidance. Okay, so here also you should focus in this area, right? So these are all the important topics which may asking the more. We expect more number of objective type questions comes under this topic. Okay, so this is about routing and transport layer. Okay, let's enter into our quiz competition, that is based upon these two units, right? Okay, I hope now you are ready for to answer this question. First one, see the question. First question. So this is from fourth unit. Okay, UDP. So UDP type, topic, under the topic of UDP, user datagram protocol, is called connectionless. Okay, so the question itself they are giving the answer, that is UDP is always called as connectionless protocol. TCP is connection oriented, so transport. Okay, UDP is connectionless. Okay, this is correct only, but they are asking the reason, because dash. Okay, so first one is all UDP packets are treated independently by transport layer. Option B is it sends the data as a stream of related packets. Option C is it is received in the same order as sent order. Option D is it sends data very quickly. Okay, it sends the data very quickly. Anyone? Anyone unmute your mic and tell me the answer? Which one is correct?
Option A, sir.
Option
A.
A. Yeah, very good. All UDP packets are treated independently by the transport layer. Okay, in the transport layer, all the UDP packets are treated independently. Yeah, it's very right. So see the explanation. UDP is an alternative for the TCP. Alternative for TCP, isn't it? So the main purpose of UDP is where the speed matters most, whereas loss of data is not a problem. So UDP is a connectionless, where TCP is a connection oriented. So this is the explanation for this question. Okay. So why UDP is all called as connectionless? Because all UDP packets are treated independently. Okay. So this is the reason for the question. So second question, transmission control protocol. Okay. This is also comes under unit 4. Is dash is a connection oriented. Option B is a three-way handshake to establish a connection. Option C, it receives the data from application as a single stream. Option D is all of them mentioned. Okay. Anyone? TCP protocol is dash.
Sir, D, sir. All of the mentioned.
All of the mentioned. Let's check the answer. Yeah, very good. D is the correct one, isn't it? Because TCP is a connection oriented. Yeah, as I said earlier, isn't it? When we see the first question, UDP is connectionless means definitely TCP is connection oriented. Okay, so first one is correct one. Connection oriented, here also you are seeing the TCP protocols. It will done by three-way handshaking, right? So that is how to establish the connection. First the connection should be established, and second one is waiting for an acknowledgement, and once they're getting the acknowledgement, then only it will start to transmit your data from sender to receiver, isn't it? So TCP is operated under this mode only. Next, third thing is it receives the data from application as a single step. Yeah. So above the layer we have the application layer. It receives the data from the application only. Okay. So definitely D is the correct one. All the mentioned is correct one. Okay. See, explanation here. The TCP, it provides the reliable and ordered delivery of a stream of bytes between the host communicating via an IP network. Okay. So major internet application like www, email, or file transfer, okay, etc. It rely on TCP. So TCP is a connection oriented and it is optimized for accurate delivery rather than timely delivery. Okay. So option D is the correct one. Right. Next, third question. An endpoint of an inter-process communication flow across a computer network is called dash. Okay. An endpoint of a inter-process communication flow across a computer network is called dash. Option A, socket. Option B, pipe. Option C, port. Option D, machine. Anyone?
Socket, sir.
Option A, socket. Okay, let's check the answer. Other than Agnes, any other students?
Port, sir.
Port. Who said this one? Gopalakrishnan. Yeah, let's check the answer. Port or socket? Yeah, socket is the correct one because socket is one endpoint in a two-way communication link in the network. Okay, so TCP layer, it can identify the application that data is destined to be sent by using the port number that is bound to the socket. Okay, so both are trying the correct only port number, but the exact answer for this statement is socket is only the correct. Okay, see the data, that is, it can identify the application, the data is destined to be sent by the using port number that is bounded to the socket. So port number is which is bounded to your socket only, right? So socket is at one end of in the two-way communication, right? So an endpoint of an inter-process communication, it goes across a computer network called socket. So socket is the correct one. Okay. So this is little bit confusing topic for to identify these two topics, that is socket, port. Okay. You differentiate these two words, then you can easily able to answer for this question, right? Next question. Which of the following is false with respect to TCP? Option A, connection oriented. Option B, process to process. Option C, transport layer protocol. Option D, unreliable protocol. So which of the following is false? Okay, you see the question, false statement, not true. Okay, so this when you see this kind of question, you at least read 2 to 3 times for this question, whether it is asking true statement or false statement, because you know that the concept of TCP. You know the answer for the TCP also. Okay. Once seeing the question, you just without reading, you just give the answer. Okay. Don't try to answer like that. You just read whether they are asking true case or false case. Okay. Now you can answer me the question. This is a false statement. You just find out the false statement from this four option. So TCP is a connection oriented. Is it true or false?
True, sir.
True. Okay. So this one is true. Right. Very good. TCP is a process to process. Okay. I hope you have doubt in this topic. Right. TCP is a transport layer protocol. Third one. Is it true or false?
True, sir.
False, sir.
True. TCP is an unreliable one. TCP is an unreliable one because it is a transmission. TCP is a connection oriented protocol. So if connection oriented protocol is unreliable one,
Answer D, sir.
yeah, still you have doubt, right? So answer D, very good. Okay, like this you have to find to justify your answer also. Okay, true or false question if you are asking means you justify the answer whether it is which one is really correct, because in the most of the times in the gate questions are 99%, 9% all the answers should be correct for your question. Okay, but you can able to justify which one is exactly correct, right? So TCP is a connection oriented. Yeah, it's very fine answer. Okay, TCP is a process to process. Just now I said before starting this quiz competition, I will say a transport layer is nothing but the process to process. Okay, why I'm saying the process to process? Because this communication is process to process only, right? So B is also correct one. So it is comes under the transport layer protocol only. Okay, no problem. But here in option D, they are giving unreliable because TCP is a connection oriented. So any communication, the connection oriented means definitely it will be the reliable communication only. Mostly it's not comes to unreliable cases, right? So option D is the false cases, right? I hope now you find out the answer. Unreliable is correct one, right? So next question: TCP process may not write and read the data at the same speed. So we need dash for storage. Okay. So without seeing the answer, I can able to answer this question, right? TCP process may not write the data or read the data at the same speed. Okay. So we need dash for the storage. Okay. So under the topic TCP, you have this answer for this question. So which part it will be needed? Which one it will be needed? For storage purpose. For storage purpose. This is a clue for you. For storage. For storage. Definitely TCP process, it may not read the data or write the data at the same speed. Yeah, is true cases only. But so we need some storage element. Okay, for storage your data. So the storage. So with this word you can able to answer it. Storage purpose. Okay, let's. I will show the option also. Option A packet. Option B buffer. Option C segment. Option D stacks. Yeah, now we can say the answer. For storage purpose.
Stack, sir.
Stack. Try something. Storage. Among the four choices, which one I add for to store something?
Sir, A, sir.
The students?
A.
Yeah, packets. Yeah, this is also not right one.
Buffer.
Any students? Buffer. Yeah, buffer. Yeah, buffer is the storage element. No, in electronics students, you all know that buffer. What is the purpose of the buffer? Right? Inverter, buffer. You all know that. In my no. So buffer. So that's why I am more stress on this word. That is storage, storage. Why I am saying more stress on this word means I expect you all people say buffer. Okay, that's why I am stress on this word. Okay, no problem. Buffer is storage. Okay, buffer is the correct one. Okay, so a TCP receiver has a receiver buffer. So it is used to store the unprocessed incoming packets. In case the sender is sending packet faster than processing rate of received packet. Okay, that time you are using the buffer. So every receiver, TCP receiver have the receiving buffer. Okay, when it crosses the time rate of this rate of the received packet, so it will be stored at some places. Okay, and then after finishing the previous one, then it will pick the packet from your receive buffer and then get started to processing. Finally, it will send to the receiver. Right. So receive buffer is the correct one. So next question. So most of you try, very good. Sixth question. The receiver of the data controls the amount of data that ought to be sent by the sender is referred to as dash. Okay, the receiver of the data control the amount of data that ought to be sent by the sender is referred to as dash. Option A, flow control. Option B, error control. Option C, congestion control. And option D, error detection. Okay. Waiting for your answer, student.
Flow control, sir.
Flow control. Okay. Any other students? Just try. The receiver of the data controls the amount of data that are to be sent. Amount of data that are to be sent. Almost your 16 students are there. Only 2 students are opening the mouth. What about others? Okay, let's check the answer. Flow control. So flow control is done to prevent the receiver from being overflowed with the data. Okay, it is done using the various open loop, that is prevention method, and a closed loop is recovery method. See this type. Open loop means prevention method. Okay, closed loop means recovery method. So flow control, which means it controls the amount of data that are to be sent. Okay, so flow control is the correct one. Very good. So next one, size of TCP segment header ranges between dash. One more thing I want to tell you. In every topic, if there is any header format is there, you just draw the header structure, okay, and you just note it on the all the naming the label. Then you find out the how many bits or byte it will take for to run that flag. Okay, so based upon the structure also you expect some question, right? So see this question. Size of TCP segment header, it ranges between dash. Option A 16 and 32. Option B 16 and 32 bit. Option C 20 and 60 bytes. Option D 20 and 60 bits. Okay, size of TCP segment headers. The ranges. Okay, anyone? Bits or byte? Gopal?
Byte, sir.
Bytes. Okay, which one is correct? Byte, you have the two options there. Option A or option C? Pick anyone.
C, sir.
C. Agnes, you?
C தான், sir.
C. Okay, let's take the answer. Yeah, very good. Both of you said the correct answer. So C, because the size of the header can be 20 bytes. So here you clue is first you find out our range is within the limit. So bits or byte. Okay. Once you find out the bytes, see the how many options based upon the bytes. So here you have the two options are there. One is A and another one is C. So you just ignore this B and D. Okay. So within these two options, you just find out exact one. Okay. So option C is the correct one. So that is 20 bytes at the minimum. If there are no option, that can go up to 60 bytes at maximum. So with 40 bytes in the option field. So header contains all the control information. It required to ensure the ordered, error-free, and reliable delivery of the segment. Okay. So it ensured these three things. One is it ordered, error-free, and reliable delivery of the segment. So option C, that is 20 to 60 bytes. So because in header ranges is 20 is the minimum one and 60 is the maximum one. So but option A is 16. So option A 16 is not correct one because it is a minimum one is 20 only, not 16, right? Maximum we have 60 bytes, but here they are giving 32. So this is also wrong. So 20 and 60 byte is the correct answer. So next, move on to the next question. The server program tells its TCP that it is ready to accept a connection. The server program, it tells its TCP that it is ready to accept a connection. So this process is called dash active open, active close, passive close, or passive open. Okay, the server program, it tells it to TCP it is ready to accept a connection. So what is it? This process is called let's say the answer passive open because first step in three-way handshaking process and it started by the server only. Okay, that is the first step. Now the client picks an ISN. ISN means initial sequence number and synchronizes, that is share it with the server requesting a connection. So first who is initiate? Server, right? Now the server acknowledge the client ISN and then pick the ISN and synchronize it with the client. Okay. So at last the client acknowledge of the server ISN. So it's similar to the three-way handshaking process only. Okay. So this case we call it as this process we call it as passive open only. Okay, it's not a active open, so passive open because it is ready to accept the connection open, right? So option D is the correct one. Next question. It is an interesting question for you. Malicious attacker, it sends a large number of sync segments, that is synchronous segments, to a server. So pretending that each of them is coming from different client by faking the source IP address in the datagram. So which type of attack is being performed in this situation? So one situation will be given here. So malicious attacker sends a larger number of synchronous segment to the server. So it is pretending that each of them is coming from different client by faking the source IP address in the datagram. Okay. So which type of attack is being performed in this situation? So this is most probably asking in the interview type. So interview question. Okay. So option A is sync flooding attack. Option B, active attack. Option C, passive attack. Option D, denial of service attack. Okay. See students, study the prescribed textbook for computer interviews, then only it will be easier for answer any questions. Okay. So here prescribed textbook already I will share you the material also. So just refer this material. So these questions are all very easy for you answer for the anyone. Sobanika. Rahul. Okay, let's check the answer. Option A. Okay, sync segment. So sync flooding attack only happen here. Okay, sync segment. So here sync flooding attack will be happen here. Okay, let's check the explanation also. So sync flooding attack. So is a form of denial of the service attack. So due to the overflow of sync segment sent to the server, the victims are not able to request for the connection to the server, thus resulting in denial of service. So here, which attack means sync flood attack? Don't say denial of service attack. Okay, sync flooding attack only the correct one. Okay, next we move on to next question. What allows TCP to detect lost segment and in turn recover from the loss? Option A sequence number, option B acknowledgement number, option C checksum, option D both sequence and acknowledgement number. Okay, what allows TCP to detect lost segment? So to detect lost segment and in turn recover from that loss. Okay, what it allows to detect the lost segment? Sequence number or acknowledgement number or checksum or both sequence and acknowledgement number. So lost segment, that is a proof. Yeah, anyone? Gopal?
சார் ஆன்சர் வந்துருச்சு சார் இதுலயே.
Oh, you see the answer?
பி.
Which one?
ஆமா சார். பி
Which one? Which
சார்.
one?
அக்னாலஜ்மென்ட்
B.
நம்பர்.
Acknowledgement number. Yeah. So acknowledgement based upon the acknowledgement number only, it will detect the lost segment. Okay. So synchronous number is connecting. Okay. But acknowledgement is whether it is lost or damaged or corrupted. Okay, so this number only it will allow us to detect those cases, right? So acknowledgement number is the correct one. So TCP header, it contains the separate field for sequence number and acknowledgement number. So TCP header. So comparing this value is what allows TCP to detect the lost segment and in turn to recover from that losses. So after detect the lost segment, the recovery may require the retransmission of lost segment of data. Okay, once we find out this acknowledgement cases, it will reset the again the same data, previous data, right? So okay, very good. So option B. Next question. Again, it is a false only. Okay, which of the following is false with respect to UDP? Already we discussed this type of question for TCP, but now I am asking for UDP. Okay, so connection oriented, unreliable, transport layer protocol, low overhead. Which of the following is false? You can easily identify the answer. Which of the following
Option
is false?
A
கனெக்ஷன்
was
ஓரியன்ட்.
Yeah, both of you said correct only. Connection oriented because TCP is the connection oriented, UDP is the connection less. So option A, very good. So option A, okay. So comparison of TCP and UDP, if you study more points about the comparison, you can easily answer this type of questions, right? So you compare while studying, you just compare all the protocols, right? So beyond the IP, UDP provides the additional services such as dash. Beyond the IP, UDP it will provide the additional services. One is routing and switching, and another one sending and receiving of packet, and third one multiplexing and demultiplexing, and option D demultiplexing and error checking. So beyond the IP, IP is the main services for UDP. Okay, so beyond that IP, UDP it will provide the additional services also. So what is that? Routing and switching, sending and receiving packet, mux and demux, and demux and error checking. Okay, let's check the answer. Next time getting late. Okay, option D demux and error checking. Okay, because demux main concept for demux is it is delivering of received segment to the correct application layer. So demux means one to many mux, many to one demux. So demux is delivering the received segment to the correct application. So many to one. Okay, you are receiving the data from many server, but it will reach to one particular point, isn't it? So it sends to the correct application layer process at the recipient end. So using UDP. So error checking is also done through the checksum in UDP. So UDP it will provide other services also, that is debugs and error checking. Okay. So this point also you keep in your mind. So next question: what is the main advantages of UDP? So here more overload, reliable, low overhead, and fast. Okay. So option C is the correct one. Low, yeah, low overhead, right? Very good. So because UDP does not provide assurance for delivery of packet, it doesn't provide any assurance. Okay, as well as the reliability, as well as the other services. Okay, but the overhead taken to the provide these services is reduced in the UDP operation. So UDP provides low overhead and higher speed. So here the main advantage of UDP is low overhead. Okay, and one more advantage is higher speed. Okay, so speed is not given, so low overhead is the correct one. So next question: retransmission of packet must not be done when dash. Okay, I hope on this question you are can able to answer. Right? Retransmission of packet must not be done. Must not. Okay, so packet is lost, packet is corrupted, packet is needed, packet is error free. So then the retransmission of packet must not be done.
Packet is error free, sir.
Packet is error free. Yeah, very good. Packet is lost, so retransmission is done. Packet, when packet is corrupted, so that time also retransmission is possible. When packet is needed, that time also the retransmission is possible. But packet is error free, so that time the retransmission is not possible. Okay, so very good. So option D is the correct one. Next question: discarding policy is mainly done by dash. Discarding policy. Okay, sender, receiver, router, switch. Discarding policy. Okay, I'll give you the answer. Option C, router. Okay, because the discarding policy is adopted by only the router. Okay, the router discards sensitive packet or corrupted packet that it is received. It will be controlling the integrity of packet flow. So discarding policy is adapted as an open loop congestion control technique. Okay, so policy discarding policies comes under the routing topic only. So so discarding policy it is actually mainly it is done by the router. Okay, no problem. Next question: the technique in which congested nodes stop receiving the data from the immediate upstream nodes or nodes is called as dash. Admission policy, back pressure, forward signaling, and backward signaling. So this is a tough question for you. Okay, I will give you the answer. Answer is B, that is back pressure. So this is new one for you. Okay, the technique which is congested node stops receiving the data from the immediate upstream node. Okay, let's say the explanation. In this closed loop congestion control technique, the congestion node propagate in the opposite direction of data flow to inform the predecessor node to reduce the flow of packet. So this is why this technique is called as node to node congestion control technique. Okay, so back pressure. Option D is the correct one. So next question: if the value in the protocol field is 70, then the transport layer protocol is usually is dash. If the value in the protocol field is 17, 17, port number is given. So the transport layer protocol is usually is dash. TCP, UDP, ICMP, and IGMP. Okay. So option B, that is UDP. Okay, because the protocol field it enables the demux feature, so that the IP protocol can be used to carry payloads of more than one protocol type. Its most used value is 70, mostly used as 70, and 6 for UDP and TCP respectively. Okay, 17 is for UDP and 6 is for TCP. Okay, by that this value, right? Port number value is 17 is for UDP, 6 is for TCP. Okay, so ICMP and IGMP are network protocols. This is not the transport layer protocol. ICMP, IGMP are comes under the network layer protocol. So these two option is a wrong one, ICMP and IGMP. So only TCP and UDP. So you know that TCP's value is 6 and UDP value is 17. So 17 is UDP. So it is the answer UDP. Okay. So next question, OSPF, Open Shortest Path First, is also called as DASH. So link state protocol, error correction protocol, routing information protocol, and the border gateway protocol. So OSPF is the example comes under the link state. Okay. So already from the classification, you, based upon the classification, you are able to answer this question because routing can be classified into different types. One is link state vector protocol and distance vector protocol. So under the link state vector protocol, OSPF, that is Open Shortest Path First, is the example for the link state protocol. Okay. So in OSPF, the link state of each path is checked, and then shortest path is chosen among only the open state link. Okay. Each OSPF router, it monitors the cost of link to each of its neighbor, and then it floods the link, the state information to the other routers in the network. Okay. So here example is OSPF is comes under the link state protocol only. Okay. So which of the following is not type of OSPF packet? Okay. OSPF, hello packet, a link state request, link state response, and link state acknowledgement. So which one of the following is not type of OSPF packet? So that is link state response. Okay. Because the 5 types of OSPF packets are hello, database, description, link state request, link state update, link state acknowledgement. Okay. You just remember all these points while studying about the OSPF concept. Okay. So in OSPF packets are having the 5 different packets. One is hello, database description, link state request, link state update, and link state acknowledgement. So here in this packet, the link state response is not coming here. So option C is the correct one. Okay. So next question, which protocol it maintains the neighbor adjacencies? So RIP version 2 and EIGRP, IGRP and EIGRP, RIP version 2 and EIGRP. Okay. So which protocol it maintains neighbor adjacencies? So neighbor adjacencies is RIP version 2 only. Okay. Routing, RIP is nothing but routing information protocol. Okay. So version number 2. So already I will give you the difference between RIP version 1 and version 2. Okay. So mostly we have preferred version 2 only. Okay. So neighbor adjacency, it refers to the formal handshake performed by the neighboring router. So it is to be done before the router shares any routing information. Okay. Version 2, it will maintain the neighbor adjacencies. Okay. So version 2 is the correct one. Which protocol should you select if the network diameter is more than 17 hops? So which protocol more than 17 hops? Version 1 or version 2 reply? Then EIGRP and then OSPF. So answer becomes version 2. So this is also RIP version 2 is used for neighbor adjacencies also. Then if the network diameter is more than 17 hops, so there also RIP version 2 is used. Okay. So next question, EIGRP metric value, it include option A delay, bandwidth, MTU, all the mentioned. EIGRP metric value. Okay. So EIGRP metric value is it include delay also, it include bandwidth, it include MTU. So all the above are correct only. So all the mentioned. So D is the correct one. Because EIGRP it includes the value of delay, bandwidth, and MTU. So delay, you know that, bandwidth, you know that, MTU is the newest one. So MTU is nothing but maximum transmission unit. Okay. So they are combined together to give overall EIGRP cost in K value. Okay. So MTU, maximum transmission unit. This is also sometimes they are asking one more question. Okay. MTU stands for dash, maximum transmission unit. So next question, EIGRP, it uses dash algorithm for finding the shortest path. Option A, SPF, B, dual, link state, option D, Digigesta. So EIGRP, it uses dual algorithm. Okay. So for finding the shortest path, you know, just note it down. Algorithm topic also. Okay. So in every protocol, what kind of algorithm it mostly used, preferred. Okay. So that also you frame the chart. Okay. So option B is the correct one. Next thing is next hop method is used to reduce the content of a dash. So revolving table, rotating table, routing table, and reallocate table. So next hop method is used to reduce the content of routing table only. Option C. Because in next hop forwarding method, the routing table of each router in the path, it contains the address of only the next hop in the path of packet. So address of next hop. Okay, so this method is used for suitable for shortest distance. Okay, to go for to choose the shortest distance. The routing table is the correct one. So last question, in unicast routing, if instability is between the three nodes, stability cannot be dash. Instability is between the three nodes, stability cannot be dash. So stable, reverse, guaranteed, and forward. Okay, so guaranteed, because in unicast routing there is only one sender and one receiver, because it is unicast, one sender and one receiver. So if there is instability between these three nodes, in which one is sender and one is receiver, so one is the router in the path. So there is no other path available for the packet, and stability of the network. It's not guaranteed. Okay, so it's not guaranteed. So that is option C is the correct one. So within this I conclude my topic. So thank you, students.